Okay, good morning again. Okay, in my other previous video, I showed these two stuck, oops, you'll know which one I'm talking about. I showed these two stuck together. I had to just rip them apart because, I'm supposed to cut them out and then glue the two pieces together. So I was, like I showed you this morning, I had two of these on top of each other, in the rows. So I was like, oh my gosh, how did I forget that? So see how it's still wet? So I just kind of pulled them apart. I'll just use those as the two top parts. But see, I don't have this down to a science yet, so I'm still learning and remembering how to do it. And I figured I just caught that literally as I turned the camera off. And I was like, oh, well, I could redo the whole thing, or I can just show you my fudge up, Okay, I just figured, so I'm going to take these two. They're not dry yet, but I'm going to take these two that are a 4 together, and I am going to cut the middle out, like cut them out, so then they're just those two nubs, and then I'm going to glue those two nubs together, but I have to wait until these dry. They're not dry yet, and I'll just have to leave those as the top pieces, like this part here. This bottom one would be one of those pieces. This one is that one, and this one is going to go on the top of, of your bead. Then I'm going to finish glazing, or I'm going to paint these when they're at that stage around the outside. I was using this stuff just because I had it around and I forgot what I used it for, but I used it for like several other projects. But what I noticed with this stuff is that when I use my varnish, it will come off a little bit on the varnish, and I don't know. So I might try to find a different, it says it's up here, it says it's water-based acrylic. So that's probably why it isn't, that's why it's probably coming off a little bit. So it's just Americana brand. I like I said, I had bought this for another project way back. I would say this bottle is probably 5+ years old. Every year I like to make a craft for my kids' grandparents, my parents, and then my husband's parents. But that stuff was coming off, although it didn't. It didn't really come off, like, it didn't rub off. Oh my gosh, that is so. Anyway, they're definitely homemade beads. That's okay. I think they turned out all right. Anyway, I did not, after the finished product, I don't notice like any of the paint coming off. It just was a little bit. So I don't know if it's just because I'm using this brand, or maybe I need to use a different varnish. I can't remember where I put my bottle for varnish. I don't see it up here with my other stuff. So, okay, I just figured I'd show you my mess up over here. And while I had remembered, like I said, I had hit the stop button, and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot I have to chop them into two pieces and then glue those two pieces together to make one of those pieces. So, anyway, like I said, this is a process for me on learning. So, yeah, all right.